Ich bin schon live. Hi everyone. I'm very happy to bring you the Messenger 8-bit, no out of bounds. You can pretty much think of this as a no major glitches category for most other games. It's an action platformer. Huh? Oh, all right. It's an action platformer made by Sabotage Studios, and yeah, that's pretty much it already. I would say let's go, and so time starts as soon as I confirm my file name here, and I would say let's just do it in 3, 2, 1, go. So this game is pretty interesting because the speedrunning community is pretty close to the developers. So we have amazing features like text skips. Otherwise, we would have been mashing quite a lot in these initial screens, and yeah. So we get the exposition to the game. We're in the last refuge of the human race in a demon-infested world, and we learn about our core mechanic of the game, the cloud step, which we'll abuse heavily over this run. Which is our main mobility tool, so we'll use it to get around the world and go ways that we're not quite intended to. So this is the demon army now attacking our village, and everyone basically dying. So this is the demon king, which we'll not see in this speedrun, unfortunately. If you want to see that, you would have to check out the any % category of this game. But fortunately enough, we'll get saved here by the Western hero, who gives us the main quest of the game. Take the scroll and take it to the highest peak of the land. And that's our goal for this category. We were pretty lucky here to get our first time shot, which is the main currency in the game, to get upgrades. And we'll try to get 40 until we hit the first save point. So the very first stage of the game, Autumn Hills, is basic platforming. We'll just try to get to these screens as fast as possible, collect the necessary time shards, and then be on our merry way. We don't want to hit these green guys because they slow us down, and yeah, not get hit by anything else, so we'll try to keep the safe and then just be on our merry way. So do not touch these, try to get close through here quickly. So very lucky with drops so far. This is looking very healthy. So we'll just pick up 6 more here, go into a shop, and yeah. Obviously you're missing all the introduction here, so this is our main helper through the quest. We just got an upgrade that allows us to climb walls. And yeah, so now that we can scale walls, we can actually go through this level. Make sure that we keep collecting time shards because the next stop that we'll make needs 130. Our first damage boost here actually. That did not work out quite as I wanted to. But that's perfectly fine. So the first upgrade that I just got in the shop lets me destroy these projectiles and just keep on moving straight through all the enemies. And yeah, if you haven't noticed yet, this game has pretty amazing music by Rainbow Dragon Eyes is what he's called. So the entire score of the game is made by a single guy. Pretty amazing 8-bit as well as 16-bit versions of the same soundtrack. We've got yeah, amazing sound scenery painted for us here. So while we're underwater, the tracks get muted. We'll have this underwater effect. So another quick damage boost, nothing really special. We just don't want to wait for the cycles. And then just keep going. So anything that I missed in particular regarding the story? So we already pretty much learned what we can about this game, because this game is pretty secretive about its story until pretty much later on. So this one we cannot avoid. We want to use this platform and then keep going, slash this guy so we can use our cloud step to keep moving. And our very first skip that we're actually doing with the cloud step will be in this screen. So we want to slash that guy. Did not get the platform. Let's just do it again. Oop. Okay, well, just do it slowly. And then we keep on moving. We want to get these shards. That's fine. Make sure we do not jump too high, otherwise we will not get that cycle, unfortunately. So we're looking pretty healthy here. 130 is what we need for the next shop, so we're pretty much set on that. That's really, really good. And then we are onto our first boss, actually, which is a pile of leaves that for some reason was, is alive now and is is blocking our way. We'll get another upgrade in the shop, which is the shurikens. So this game has some heavy influences from Ninja Gaiden, if you ever played it. So we've got shurikens later on. We even get an upgrade for the shurikens so that it behaves pretty similarly to the ones in Ninja Gaiden. And this guy has a quick kill, so we'll just keep mashing our button, break through his shield, and as soon as that is gone, we just keep waiting on him until he dies. So that seems close, but if you do not miss a cycle, if you do not miss one of the hits, you're pretty much safe. So that was our very first stage. That was better than I expected it to be, actually. On to the next stage of the game, the Forlorn Temple. Ooh, pretty amazing music. Too bad we will not get to hear much about it, because we cannot cross this bridge. So we'll drop right down to the catacombs. These little guys are called Phobikin, so this is a crypt, this is the catacombs, and he's definitely afraid of everything that is dead or undead. If we move through this level quickly, we are able to avoid the cycle for Disc Crusher. Stuff that the text skips enables us to do, actually. So that's really cool. Otherwise, we would have had to mash really, really fast. And it's really hard, let me tell you about it. This game used to be way harder when we had to mash through all the different text boxes. But yeah, the developers made a great deal out of helping out the speedrunning community however they could. So in the catacombs we'll try to get through as quickly as possible, because we have a lot of timers on a lot of things, like those crushers are all on room timers. And they're fairly nasty, like you can lose a lot of time if you do not make these. So try to make sure we're safe here, and then we got a little damage boost through these spikes because there's a health drop coming up very, very soon. So very cool usage of the cloud step here. We can cross this pit without worrying too much about it, and then just get through here. Go to the right because we want the health drop for another damage boost that we're gonna do in a second. Let's not get hit by those because we need our health. So these Viz robes are absolute jerks. We'll try our best to avoid them. And we get to see the first glimpse of the boss of this stage, which is Ruxton. So he'll spawn these necromancers, so that was really unfortunate. The spawn of the necromancer after he teleports can screw you over quite a bit. So if we make it through this room nice and safe, we can just jump into these, cross them nice and easy. And we're already at our next checkpoint, which refills us all the way up to 3 health, which should be enough for the rest of the stage. There's one Crusher skip coming up that is fairly tight, so we'll see whether we can make it through. And yeah, more West ropes here. We'll try to collect time shards as we go along. We don't need to buy anything in the rooms that are coming up, so that's really unfortunate. I did not make that, so we have to wait this Crusher out. But that's fine. Just make sure to stay safe here, because the spikes do 3 damage, we're at 2 health, so we really want to avoid them. So, yeah. Shuriken and health refills before every boss, and now we're at Ruxton. He can give us two basic, yeah, goddammit. That's okay. We got the low pattern. The pattern is what I was thinking about. So we have to knock him off here so that we can hurt him again, and he always spawns on the other end of the room. Oh, that's really unfortunate. So let's try to get it back up here. Okay, I did not make that. That's fine. It's a bit slower than it should have been, but we'll just make sure that we can get him. So he should die right here. No, still not. So that was the last hit. So that could have been quite a bit faster, but it's all right in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, we unfortunately did not get the high Ruxton, which would have made it way easier. Would have just boosted through the flames that are coming from the top and would have wailed on him until he died. But that's fine. So now we got to look forward to Bamboo Creek, which has a lot of vertical movement and has pretty much the best track in the game, in my opinion. So it's fast-paced. And there's a lot of things we can do with our Cloud Step, so that's always nice. A water that slows us down because it flows in the opposite direction, so we'll try to get out as quickly as possible. So we can do some damage boosts here, or not. It does not really matter. The backups are nice and safe. So pretty cool usage of the Cloud Step here. Just allows us to move a little bit faster. So all of this is still fine. Pretty interesting mechanic about this game is that the hitbox of the sword lasts way longer than it appears to be. And while this appears out of bounds, it's allowed by the category. There is no boundary to break, so the community decided to allow this one. Oop. Yeah, let's just play it safe, get our health refilled, and then we can move forward through the stage. These guys always weirded me out with the weird sigh that they do when they die. So if we were a good runner of this game, we would see a very nice skip, but unfortunately I'm not in particular, so let's just do a basic backup. So we avoided using more of those ladders, of those moving platforms. Because that is slow, moving everything by ourselves is slow, we don't want that, so we'll just jump up the walls and use that to move through the stage. Oh. So that was not quite as I intended to, but I'm pretty sure we'll get this next one, which is just double cloud stepping, using the lanterns, and then we're already through. The intended way would have been to go all the way to the bottom and move up a platform so that we could get high enough to move through the screen. And if you're expecting a boss, I'm very sorry, that's not gonna happen. The shopkeeper would have told you about it. There's no boss here. Don't expect one. And then we're already moving on to the holding Prado. So this is also a very vertical stage, but we'll get an upgrade, just like the knuckle braces that allowed us to climb walls. We'll get a wingsuit now, which allows us to cross larger gaps, and also with the upgrade that I just got, we also get an additional attack that we can use. So yeah, the stage has a lot of wide gaps, plus these wind channels that we're gonna use to move through the stage faster and move up the walls that we could not climb. So let's see if we can get through this nice and easy. So taking damage here is fine. I would have loved to avoid it, but it's still way faster than going around it. So yeah. A lot of really small time saves that we can do in this run. We just see an exit and we want to get there as fast as possible. So moving all the way around there was not an option. So the haze sound that you just heard is a small sound sample from the developers of the game. So shout outs to them, shout outs to Rainbow Dragon Eyes, who incorporated all of this into the game. Really amazing all around in terms of the soundtrack, very enjoyable, something that I listen to all the time. So just jump through these and then we're already moving on.
Is this a good time to read a donation?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
We've got $5 from Anonymous saying, have to donate for oh boy Nayleen. Your ALTTPR buddies are watching you. Make us proud, son. Cheers.
Thank you guys. So I play a lot of a Link to the Past randomizer as well, so it's really great to see you guys around. Ooh, that was really tight, so we almost messed that up. And we're already pretty much through the stage, so just a few more screens left, and then we're already where we want to be. The next boss fight of the game, which is really interesting. Really nice speed strats that we can do, so we'll fill up our hearts here. Jump up of this, and then we're moving on. Refill our shurikens because they're really important to this fight. So this is the golem fight. You see the core of the golem, which we're gonna strike 8 times in total, 7 times with our sword, and use our shurikens to get a faster cycle.
Do we have time for another donation?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
We've got $27 from Bamboo Shadow saying, good luck to my boy Nayleen.
Thank
donating
you so much.
$27 for Zocustus, 27 misses in the Secret of Mana Run. Go, 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 go. Never stop struggling. Oh, that's so cute.
That should have worked. Alright, so we still got the 2 cycle. We're very low on health, so we'll have to do the next phase a bit safer. So let's see if we can pull it through. If we don't, that's still fine. We got the buffer for it. So, whoa, buddy. So that was not quite as I wanted it to go. If you want to do this fight optimally, you would kill him, drop to the bottom, because gliding down here is super slow. But it's just a few seconds, so Yeah, I'll do my best. So, this ghost is very sad that we killed this golem, so there's a bit of a misunderstanding. He thought we were attacking him. He was attacking us, obviously, so we had to make do. So, moving on to the Quill Shrew Marsh, which is a very horizontal stage, so we're the longest rooms in the games horizontally, and yeah, lots of projectiles in the stage that we're trying to avoid or slash to destroy them. More of those weird plant guys. And lots of usage of our wingsuit, which allows us to fly through everything. Okay, we got the backup here. So this is the way you want to go. Because since this is all one large horizontal room, it's all on the same cycle. And we want to make sure that we can get under this crusher. So that worked out fine. We'll bait this bird to come with us because we don't want to move all the way down here. So, yeah, more cycles, more birds, and we'll just see that we can get through. So this room is also on a cycle, so moving quickly through here allows us to get the health, get through this without waiting for it. Ah. So we'll not get that save point, it's slow, we want to move through here as fast as possible. So there's a very cool strat that I do not seem to be able to get. Yeah, that did not work. If the second shuriken would have been a bit higher up, we could have just moved through here. Lots of enemies in this, and like I said, lots of projectiles. We'll just try to get through. We're very good on health. Another bird that will bait over to get us through here. And then we're on a merry way. Some more damage boost here, so these little spike balls only do a single piece of damage, so even getting it 3 times is is super fine. We'll just keep moving on. So this one, yeah, I don't know what it's doing here. Get out, buddy. So if you really wanted to take it super fast, we would try to jump around the spike platform. We are a bit slower, so we did not have to worry about it. Oop. Forgot my jump there. So this little bug always jumps up when you do. So this looks very much like another boss, which is the Queen of Thorns, if I remember correctly. There's a really cool new quick kill that I haven't managed to learn yet, unfortunately, so we'll go with the quick kill, not the quicker kill. So if we hit her enough times in both of these phases, she'll immediately go to her next one, where she'll try to whip us. Oh, we missed that by a single hit, I guess. So we'll try to avoid these because they would turn us into a mushroom. Being a mushroom is not nice. And now she's dead. That could have been a bit faster, so something that is really confusing for people who did not play this game is what is up with that demon. Turns out that the Queen of Thorns used to be a messenger, just like we are, but got corrupted. So she did not die. She got saved by a little demon friend that we would have met if we died. Let's hope that does not happen though. So here in the searing cracks, we've got a combination of the previous 2 stages. So lots of vertical and horizontal movement. Now we got the really D movement tool in the game, which is the rope dart, which gives us invulnerability frames as well as allow us to stab all the way up to enemies. So let's see if I can, hardest trick in the game, by the way. Let's just, so this is fine.
Do we have time for another donation?
Go ahead.
We've got a $5 donation from Nicholas W saying, "My boy,
Oh.
less than 3. Greetings from the Griffs." Winky face.
I can't believe I've got real life friends watching this. It's really amazing. Thank you so much. Oop. So moving through these rooms optimally can be quite hard. Let's see if we can get a little skip here by slashing this one. Yeah, so we got that. Unfortunately, we might miss the cycle here, yeah. So we'll have to do the backup. Yeah, the hookshot, grappling dart, I'm sorry, can be a bit hard and weird to use because you tend to get stuck in little corners. But all of this is fine. And I'm sorry that I do not get the chance to pay attention to chat. This is a very demanding game, so I have to be on top of my game here. So this room is super interesting because we do not go about the intended way at all. Because that would be slow, we do not like going slow, obviously. So maybe we can get a single handstand in, there we go, and we're on our next bosses, which are these two Cyclopses. How they work is they take turns fighting us. The green one we can only hit from the front, while the other one is too buff, we can only hit him from the back. We'll use our rope darts to the best of our ability here to get close, to get additional hits in, to get some invincibility frames, and to just keep on wailing on these dudes until both of them are in a critical health state. And at that time, when they do the next tech move, like this one, they'll just die. Oh, that did not quite went how I wanted it to go. Well, it's looking pretty good health-wise. So let's hope that was enough damage, and they both died. So they're like, the postman really gave us a beating. He said he wanted to go to the top of the mountain, so let's help him out. And that's what they did, by kicking us in the shin and getting us up all the way up to Kaleo Peak, which is the penultimate stage of the 8-bit run. So let's see if we can get this one. This is really hard. At least for me, we have to be all on the top pixel here to get all the way up, because going around we would have to jump up multiple platforms. And yeah, even more usage of our rope dart here, so we can skip multiple streams and move up all of this. We don't want to use the platforms. You can also use the rope dart on the icicles, which destroys them and helps us move along the room a bit faster. This room is the bane of my existence. I'm sorry if it looks a bit clunky. But we got through, we only lost a single piece of health, so everything is looking good. Yeah, not much I can tell about this this stage because it flies by so fast. Like for the world record holder and the top runners of this game, it's really intimidating, and It's really impressive how they move through these stages so fast. Yeah. Not much to tell about this guy. We see him 2 times throughout this run. And he tries to be in our way, tries to stab us, only does a single hit if he does. So we do not get to see more of him, unfortunately. He would be the boss of the linear percent or any percent runs of this game, which actually go to the underworld where we would fight him. He's the Demon General's second in command. Oop. Get up. So making use of our wingsuit again to yeah, pretty much avoid the walls in all the places where we can. And we're already at the pinnacle of the Kaleo Peaks. So now we're at the basically the end of our mission by meeting these sorcerer guys who look a lot like the shopkeeper. And they tell us to hold up the scroll that we've been carrying around the entire time. To reveal the Tower of Time, the final dungeon of this run, with a lot of difficult sections, new hazards, the lasers that we'll see in just a second, which deal 4 damage, so even more than the spikes, which have been giving us trouble throughout the run. But we should be almost there. So we'll try to avoid these as much as possible. That was really sketchy. Get through these, we need to hit these crystals to disable the lasers. So that was really unfortunate. So let's try to do that safely. So this is the main mechanic of these stages. We need to hit the crystals to disable the lasers or wait for moving platforms to disable them for us. We need to be very wary of these wizrobes because they're jerks. They like to get in our way and hurt us. There's a very cool strat that I'm completely unable to figure out. So one of the very recent finds is that you can hit most of these crystals through the walls, which allows us to do everything a bit faster. Not in here, unfortunately. So it's pretty much up to the mercy of the wizrobes whether we get through this unharmed or not. We're at a pretty critical level of health here, so I will have to take it slowly and safely for a bit longer until we get a refill. We did not get that, unfortunately. So you can hit this one through the wall as well. Makes it go a little bit faster. And yeah, really unfortunate that we're at 3 health right now. We really would have loved to be at 4 or even 5. Because that would have allowed us to do a really great skip here through all the lasers. But lasers do 4 damage, spikes do 3, so we cannot even do the damage boost, unfortunately. I have to take this really, really slowly, and we'll do this for safety. I'm just super rusty at this game, so we could have skipped all of these cycles. I have to keep it safe here. And now we're finally back at full health and can move further along. Jump up to the ceiling, which helps with lining up the jump. And then move up here. And we're in the room where we want to use our final shuriken just to make this room a bit faster. Make sure we do not hold a directional button in here, because otherwise we would hug the wall, which is really annoying. And that was fast enough, so we'll move through here, try to get up here. And this one is too scary, we're not doing it. We want to finish nice and clean. So what we could have done there is We could have damage boosted off of one of the eyeballs, which does a single damage, and boosted through all of those lasers that do 4. And maybe I can show off a little bit of swag here. Saves like 4 or 5 seconds. So if we go here, that should be good. So we want to... What do we want to do? We want to slash jump, and there we go. So we hit that one at least through the wall. The lineup probably cost us more time than it gained, but that's fine. Just a little bit of swag. While we move up these platforms to our final boss, the Arcane Golem, so the shopkeepers, the magicians that we saw before, will now put us up to the final challenge of this run. And yeah, so nice abuse of the invincibility frames that we get from the rope dart here. The intended strat would have wanted us to take it very slowly, because the golem also protects his head using spheres of arcane magic or whatever that we can easily avoid. So we'll hit him from the outside. So we could either do it like this, which is the basic strat, or we can use a rope dart and stick all the way in here. Maybe I want to take it a bit slower. Ooh. So just a few more hits and then we should be good. So let's take it safe. There we go. That's time actually. I'm kind of bummed that we did not get the estimate, but I think we lost a lot of time to Ruxton, etc. But a single minute over estimate is fine. So thank you a lot. I hope you really enjoyed the music and the gameplay in this game. It's an amazing game. It opens up into a Metroidvania if that's your cup of tea. So give this game a try. It's always on Prime or some kind of bundle. And you can get it really cheaply. It's on Steam, it's on the Switch, and I think on the PS4 as well right now, so you have great options there. And with that, I think I would head it off. Thank you a lot.
All right. Thank you, Nayleen, for that amazing run. It was very entertaining to watch.